A hot June evening in a small town in the southern United States was slowly fading away. It left behind a sweltering night. In a one-room apartment near the college lived two friends. Emily and Sarah went to college together and lived in the same apartment. That night, they had no idea that they were preparing for a night that would forever change their lives forever. Emily was a bright and carefree girl. That evening, she stood in front of the mirror applying the final touches of makeup. Her red hair shimmered under the light of the lamp, and her red dress fit her figure like an echo of her daring personality. "Sarah, come on!" She glanced at her friend. Sarah was sitting at her desk staring at her textbooks. "It's going to be a legendary party. Everyone's going to be there," said Emily. Sarah didn't even look up. Her dark hair, pulled back into a sloppy ponytail, blended in with the shadows cast by the desk lamp. "You know we have an exam tomorrow." Her voice was quiet but firm. "Go without me. Have fun for two." Emily took offense but didn't insist. She only said, Sarah didn't even look up. Her dark hair, pulled back into a sloppy ponytail, blended in with the shadows cast by the desk lamp. Sarah said nothing. Emily packed up and left, slamming the door shut. After she left, there was an oppressive silence in the apartment. Sarah continued to study for the exam in peace and quiet. At this time, Emily was a loud, drunken, crazy party. The music drowned out thoughts. The drinks blurred the boundaries of reality. Even the chaos, however, Emily sometimes caught herself a strange sense of unease, as if someone was watching her. She looked around, but saw only laughing faces, dancing bodies. There was fun and laughter and joy all around. Just paranoia, she thought, pushing the unpleasant feeling away. When the clock struck 1 o'clock in the morning, many people started to go home. Emily decided to go home as well. Her head was buzzing, but she was conscious, enough to get home. The streets were deserted. The streetlights flickered as if they were about to be swallowed up by darkness. However, she walked home confidently, knowing that her best friend was waiting for her at home. She and Sarah often fought, but they always found a way to make up. As she approached the house, she noticed that there was no light in the windows. Thinking that Sarah had gone to bed, she went up to the apartment. The apartment greeted her with pitch darkness. "Sarah?" Emily called out in a whisper, but there was only silence. She didn't turn on the light. Let her sleep, she thought as she made her way to her bed. However, something was wrong. The air felt heavy, as if it were saturated with something negative. Emily kicked off her shoes, walking quietly into the room. She looked toward Sarah's bed. Let her sleep. I'll apologize to her in the morning, she thought, making her way to her bed. As she approached the bed, she collapsed onto her pillow. Before she fell asleep, she heard a faint rustling sound as if someone had moved cautiously in the corner of the room. It was just the wind, Emily convinced herself, closing her eyes. The morning began with a scream. "Sarah!" Emily's voice sounded shrill. Her friend was in her bed, covered with a blanket over her head. Emily the covers sharply, and the world collapsed around her. Sarah was awake. Her eyes, wide open, were frozen in a mute scream. Her lips were blue, and on her neck. There was a deep, gaping cut on her neck. However, the most terrifying thing was on the wall. Large, jagged, crimson letters that caught the eye. If you had turned on the light, she would be alive. Emily, with trembling hands, called the police. The police squad that arrived on the scene found nothing. No signs of forced entry, no prints, only crimson stains in Sarah's bed. That same day, Emily moved out of the apartment. Later, she changed schools, changed cities. However, she felt that she had followed her. The first thing she saw was the writing on the bathroom mirror. When she took a shower and wiped the steam off the mirror afterward, she saw the writing. Why didn't you turn on the lights? The next night, as Emily was getting ready for bed, she received a text message on her phone. I seen you sleeping that night. And then one night, She saw him, a dark silhouette in the corner of the room. He didn't move. He just stared. Emily shrieked and rushed to the light switch. The light flashed. The room was empty. At the same second, however, there was a whisper in her ear. "The light won't save you." Emily hasn't turned off the light since, but she realizes that one day the light won't help her. Because he's waiting. Always. In a dark corner where no one can see him.